it's Ems and welcome back to my reading room. Today I'm going to be telling y'all my top 23 reads of 2023. Yes, I know it's 2024, but it's still January and I wanted to do this video. It was something that I was really looking forward to and I hadn't really started a YouTube channel yet and this is my first video, so I'm really excited to show this to y'all. You probably came from my TikTok, and if you didn't come from my TikTok, welcome. Hello. To start us off, I'm going to leave a disclaimer that I am not a book critic. I give 5 stars to a book with a pretty cover and good vibes. Yes, there's books I don't like. Yes, there's books I really like. We all have different opinions. My opinions do not have to be your opinion. Please do not hate on me if I hated a book you love, and please do not hate on me. I mean, hey, you're gonna do it anyway, but don't hate on me if I love a book you don't love. But we can always talk opinions in the comments. So comment down below. Let's get started with from January to December is how I'm gonna go through these. I'm not gonna tell y'all the stars because I really don't know in my brain. It'll be like somewhere on the screen. But it's Heart of a Raven Prince by Tanya Odette. This book, bro, y'all, I don't remember a single detail, but I can tell you that I really enjoyed it. It's a Cinderella retelling, so there's the evil stepsisters, there's the evil mom, she's really close with the first ever book in the series, the second book in the series. She's really close with the main character of that one, and I loved the main character of that one, but just the love and the romance, and I believe they're enemies. I don't think they're enemies, I think she's pretending to be somebody else. And they're going through that, and y'all, it was so good. If I can't get you to read this, go watch Sarah Caroli's video, because she's the reason I read this, because I am a book talk girly through and through. I love watching book talk. If you wouldn't want to read the second book in the series, maybe you want to read like the 5th or 6th book in the series. It's interconnected standalone, so this is totally different characters that you meet in one to every book. This is the latest book in the series, A Dream So Wicked by Tanya Odette. Enemies to lovers, dancing, the way her parents, like the parent-daughter, kind of trope in this is very fun. The ending, I can't tell you the ending, but if you want to know the ending, you need to read this book. And maybe you don't like the first one, but you like the second one. Because I can tell you, they're all totally different. And I absolutely ate this one up. This one was literally my favorite. And I am all about vibes. So I could read an entire book and not remember a single detail, but I remember details about this book. Oh my gosh. The dreams, bro. That's all I have to say. The dreams. You should read this for the dreams. Is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. If you love bad boy, good girl trope, if you love kind of fake dating, learning how to date, I would recommend this book. But I wouldn't recommend this book if you don't like cringy books, because this is probably 8 out of 10 cringy. Did I care that it was cringy? No. You might. Because I will promise you, it is very cringy. If you don't like older ladies, main characters getting babied, I would not recommend this to you. But if you don't really care, and you're just here for the fun of it, I would read this. And if you don't want to try this one, I would try When in Rome. When in Rome was not one of my favorites, but I do know that one is widely loved. But I absolutely ate this one up. This one is Annie and Will. They see each other in the town. He is the main character of the first book's bodyguard. Yeah, he's a bodyguard. That's all I have to say. Bodyguard. If you love the tropes, just like good girl, bad boy, bodyguard keeps her safe, this is for you. The next book I have is The Man, the Myth, the Legend, Jack Smith. Y'all. Jack Smith, really? He is book boyfriend. This is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This is another STEM romance. If you really like her STEM romances, I would totally recommend this one. I think this one is one of her best. She's fake dating his brother through an app, and then they become co-workers. They never think they're gonna see each other again. They become co-workers, and it's enemies to lovers. Emphasis on the enemies to lovers, because y'all. But the things he says and the things he does prove otherwise. If you love a good book boyfriend, he is your character. And if you love a powerful STEM woman, she's your character. Books like these that are like kind of Wattpad-y are not my favorite. But really anything Allie Hazelwood writes, I will eat up. I don't care if she writes 3 books that literally resemble each other. If they have a good book boyfriend, I will hands down probably give it a 5 stars. Is Icebreaker and Wildfire by Hannah Grace. These 2 are the Maple Hill series. This one is Stassi and Nate, and they are, I wouldn't say enemies. I think they're just kind of like, they butt heads. Yeah, I think she's a figure skater and he's a hockey player. They're kind of like, something happens and then they have to use the same rink. And you know, you'll eat it up. Nate Hawkins, that is it. I always forget their names. Nate Hawkins is also a book boyfriend. I probably couldn't tell you anything about this book. I really am just here for the vibes. But I do remember that there's this one dude that I hate in this book. And if you hate really infuriating men who aren't main characters, I would avoid this. If you don't hate that, I wouldn't avoid this. It was really good. If you love a girl boss with girl power, I would recommend Wildfire, because Aurora is that girl. She is literally like, she knows what she wants and she does what she wants. And I eat it up. Russ is a cutie. He's awkward, he's shy, but he's great at what he does. He is a hockey player. She is kind of like in the midst. She does everything. I think she works at a summer camp, because you know what they do in this book? They work at a summer camp. They both go to the same school. They meet and they have a one-night stand. And then later they become co-workers. And you know where it goes from there. Little romance book, so you probably figure out the plot. But y'all, he is so cute and awkward and shy. And there's dogs, literal golden retrievers. Like, you have to read this book. And the side characters, y'all, I can still remember the side characters, which means I ate this book up. Because the side characters, like, of the summer camp, and even the family, family trope of just the Maple Hill series in general, like, you will get it all. You will get it all. And I recommend Wildfire. And you know what comes out this year? Daydream. Henry's book is The Inheritance Games. I think I'm one of the last people to ever read The Inheritance Games. If you haven't read it yet, here I am recommending it to you, but you have probably read it. The Inheritance Games is about Avery Grams, who is randomly given an inheritance by this random old man who she knows nothing about. You follow her ins and outs, where she has a love triangle with 3 brothers. There's 2 other brothers that I absolutely love. Like, the other brothers, chef's kiss. But I would say picking a team is fun. Rooting for one of them, rooting for one of the couples, rooting for the other couple, figuring out the puzzles and just the mystery. Like, if you love a good mystery with a little bit of, I would say, like, not a lot of romance, but throughout all books you get a lot of romance, I would really recommend The Inheritance Games, just the full trilogy. I absolutely devoured these books. I think I literally read them in 3 days. And then I read The Brothers Hawthorne and was like, it was pretty good. But these will now hold a special place in my heart. And you should read this. Next book I have is The Long Game by Elena Armas. Adeline and Cameron are some of my favorite main characters, but Adeline gets into trouble. She's filmed on a media team, like, fighting a mascot. She gets sent off to this small town where she has to revive a soccer team. She doesn't know the soccer team is a group of little girls. So she comes in and she's like, I need to get this together. And then you have Cameron, who lives in a small town. He's already the coach, and they kind of butt heads. And it's kind of enemies. They're enemies for a little bit of it. I wouldn't say that it's slow burn. Actually, bro, I can't tell you. If you want specific details, maybe one day you'll get them from me. But for this video, because this is my first one, you're not gonna get that many details. Oh yeah, she like runs into him, like in the first couple chapters. So you kind of see that dynamic. He is a book boyfriend, because the way he treats her, I don't care if they're enemies, I don't care if they don't like each other, this man treats her with respect. And we love a good respectful man and an enemies to lovers. And that's all I have to say. Oh my goodness. The next favorite is The Ballad of Never After. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, where A Curse for True Love is the third one. I think if you've ever heard about the series, you know that The Ballad of Never After is the favorite one. I can't really tell you much about The Ballad of Never After, but I can tell you about Once Upon a Broken Heart. It's about Jax and Evangeline. Evangeline is heartbroken. She's going through a lot. It's kind of like a Cinderella retelling, like in the sense of like family. Dead parents, evil stepsister, evil stepmom. There's a lot of magic. All I have to say is Jax is the man that Jax is. Oh my gosh, that just scared me. I would recommend the whole trilogy, but obviously for my favorites, The Ballad of Never After was definitely a favorite. I want to try and get y'all like really into this one, because like Evangeline and Jax were chef's kiss. Lala, chef's kiss. Like the side characters, chef's kiss. The kind of like deal they make, because she has to make a deal, kind of like making a deal with the Prince of Hearts is not what you want to do. You do not want to make a deal with the Fates. She makes a deal with the Fate. And what does that mean for her? Well, you will have to find that out yourself. But A Curse for True Love was not my favorite book of the year, but I would still recommend the entire series if you would love to know what goes on in The Ballad of Never After. The next book I read was Collide by Bach Habra. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that, but this is a sort of enemies to lovers. You get hockey. Hands down for me, a hockey romance is a 10 out of 10 romance. I would say Summer is a very girl boss. She knows what she wants. She's doing what she wants to do. She has to write a paper for the school's hockey team, which she doesn't want to do. Aiden, the captain, is in a form of trouble, so he gets put with her, and she does not want to work with him. Like, they do not want to work together. And then you kind of, throughout the book, obviously they work together. Some of the stuff he does, he's book boyfriend. The next is another hockey romance. As you can tell, I went through a hockey romance phase this year. Is Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This is the Vancouver Storm series. This book is not second chance, but like we knew each other before. They knew each other in high school. They meet again and they think they don't remember each other, and then it stems from there. She's there to nanny his dog, more like apartment sit. She's there to kind of just be his personal assistant, and it kind of sprouts from there. He's a grumpy, like, hockey player, obviously. Probably gonna be grumpy. And she is very outgoing, and she's excited. And they just, he is also book boyfriend. All these books, if I give them a 5 stars, or a 4, even a 4 stars, they're probably book boyfriend to me. Jamie and Pippa they are it. So I would totally read Behind the Net. This is Love Redesign. Yes, I read Love Redesign before I read the next books, and you probably already know, but all I have to tell you is Julian, that man, the man that he is. So the plot of this book probably went in one ear out the other, but the way that they talked about each other and the romance, and it's second chance. If second chance doesn't pull you in, I don't know what will. They are family friends. They grew up together, always kind of enemies, bickering, and then one day they just stop being friends. She moves off. She's in another relationship, really wealthy. She's going through interior designing on television. Then her and her boyfriend, husband, I don't remember what he was, at the time break up, and she moves back to town. Julian is a billionaire. He's a billionaire, yeah, because he worked on a couple apps with his brother, and I think he also has like a construction business. And you kind of follow them in seeing each other again, figuring out why they don't like each other anymore, seeing them kind of rekindle that romance, or even like the enemies that they had before. Like, It was so good. And I know a lot of people really enjoyed this book. And this is one of my favorite Lauren Asher books because her writing in this one, like you could tell how much she's grown as a writer because this was so good. The next book I have is Check and Mate by Alia Hazelwood, which is her step into YA. If you're looking for a genuine YA book, I would not read this. I would say that this is 18 and above, probably. Like, I would not classify this as a YA. I think the love was YA, but some of the writing was not YA. I loved it. I ate it up. I devoured it. Nolan and Mallory were some of my favorite characters. The way that they go, the depth of them, even though they're YA, I ate it up. The backstory, the chess. I am not a chess girly. I've literally never played chess in my life. Did I eat this book up? Yes. Will you eat this book up if you've never played chess? Maybe. But I'm here for vibes. I don't care if they're playing chess. I'm still gonna eat it up. And I'll probably skim through the parts that aren't romance. No, I'm not kidding. But Mallory never wants to play chess again. She not hates it, but she does not ever want to play it. This is not something she wants to do. And then one day her bestie takes her to a chess match and she beats the grandmaster, like the grand world champion. He's like the best of the best in her like league, or even like I think the world. And he's kind of like over social media. He's so big, like in the space, and she beats him. And it like spirals from there. Next group of books I read is the Dreamland Billionaire series, and all I have to say is chef's kiss. She ate, she devoured. I'm absolutely in love with the characters of this book, just as much as I loved Love Redesign. I would say my two favorites are The Final Offer and The Fine Print. I liked Terms and Conditions, but Terms and Conditions wasn't my favorite, but I do know that a lot of people love Declan's story. I personally loved Zara and Rowan. If I was to say off vibes, 5 stars. This is my stuff. If I was to say off character development and just the love of the story, Final Offer. But The Fine Print was so cutesy. Their love was adorable. I loved Zara cracking open just every bit and piece of Rowan. And as you can tell, I loved Dreamland. It was perfect. I love the way that Zara was with kids. I loved the way that she was just such a happy person, and you find out about her past and you just figure that all out, and I loved that. I cannot explain to you in words how much I loved The Final Offer. It's not most people's favorite story because it does go into depth about like a lot of trigger warnings. You can search up trigger warnings. It does go into depth about a lot of that kind of stuff, but I absolutely ate it up. I love Callahan. He was literally one of my favorites. Like, he made me want to start reading like a lot of more heavier topic books, or just Lauren Asher books in general. He was so fun and outgoing in these books, and you kind of just get to see him break down, and you get under the skin, and you learn the what ifs and the bouts and the buts. And I could not tell you the girl's name in this book, but I could tell you everything about Callahan Kane, y'all. But the girl in this book, I loved her dynamic with her daughter. The little girl in the book was very cute, and I loved him being in Lake Wisteria. Lake Wisteria is a 10 out of 10 format, like area. I can't wait for the next one in the Love Redesigned universe. Billionaires with a B. I would tell you, if you take one thing out of this video, it's to read the Dreamland Billionaire series, because y'all, I can't even. The next books I have is Powerless by Elsie Silver. Y'all, cowboy and hockey romance. What is better than this? Small town. Jasper is a part of a loving found family, and he is kind of in this childhood kind of like second chance. They kind of grow up together in kind of like a family situation, but they're not family. They kind of just grow up around each other, and they're kind of romance. That's all I have to say. She is going to get married. and it doesn't end well, and he's there and he picks her up and they go through this kind of like what ifs and what abouts and all that kind of stuff, and it is just, this book is so good. And then the next one I have is actually Reckless in the same series. This is Theo and Winter. Winter is literally my beloved. She is such a powerful girl boss and she eats up everybody. You might not like her in the first couple books, but then you come to this one and you are like, she is that girl. Theo's adorable. He is outgoing and fun. This is not a trope most people like. If you want to search up the trope, you can look it up, but I loved the way Elsie Silver did it, and I think Theo was such a great addition. And the little girl, she was so cute, and I would definitely recommend. The Off-Campus series, I am probably the last person, but these covers drew me in. You give me a cute little animated cover, and I will read your book. I don't care. I'm gonna read it. So I read The Mistake and The Score. I read them all. These two were my favorite. The Mistake is Logan and Grace. They kind of go out once, or actually they're kind of together for a little bit and then it's like fell apart. Yeah, she's like, she wants to go out there, have fun. They meet, they kind of go through this stuff, and then it's a whole lot of romance. I would say there's love, enemies, there's everything. This one is really good. Honestly, I couldn't tell you much about these books. The Score. This is Allie and Dean. Y'all, this is like forbidden love. They're not really forbidden. They just don't really want to tell anyone. They don't want to ruin anything. It's bad boy, semi-good girl. She is a relationship girly. She wants to be in a relationship. She's been in a relationship. She gets out of a relationship, but she doesn't really know how to settle. And he's bad boy. He's doing anything and everything, you know? He's out there. And she kind of like meets him. Stuff happens, and then she's kind of like, no, I don't want to see you. And then you go through the book boyfriend. That's what you go through. That's how I'll describe it. You go through the book boyfriend, and then you... Next one is The Graham Effect. It is the kids of The Deal, which is not one of my favorites, but I did really enjoy this. It's enemies to lovers. It's rivals. They're kind of going against each other, but she wants to be better. She wants to be great. She wants to get this team, and he wants the good graces of her father and just kind of his coaches in general. He wants to be the best. He wants to get on. He wants not be the best, but he wants to work hard and do the program that her father is doing. So she kind of talks him up, and then you go through their story and you kind of see the friendships in this book are really great, and I really enjoyed it. That is actually my 23 favorite reads. I didn't count them. There were too many series that I didn't really pick through, and I just told you like a couple from each. This could be like 28 books. This could be 20 books. I don't know. But those were my 23 favorites of 2023. I hope you enjoyed my first video. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and I would love to see you guys again in maybe my next video. Bye! See you later!